according to Jeremiah 6 and 2, okay, it says that we're married unto the Lord, man. All right? And as a woman, all right, when you step out on your man, all right, you move that man to wrath, because you know jealousy is the rage of a man, all right? And you wonder why these bitches get their ass beat by these niggas, man, when they get caught cheating. All right? Well, the Lord's version of whooping our ass was putting us in the hand of the most wickedest, evil, like it says in prayer, Azariah, the most hateful, forsaken of God on the earth. You know? So you got to realize that this is all our fault. And until you acknowledge that, you're going to be in this situation continuously. Yeah, for real.
It's Baruch chapter 4, verse 7. For ye provoked him that made you by sacrificing unto devils, and not to the Most High.
Right, so what you're seeing our people doing, man, you know, continually sacrificing to devils. All right, hey, we're in the midst of the winter solstice. You know, niggas just celebrated Thanksgiving, which was celebrating the slaughter of your brothers, the so-called Native Americans, the tribe of Gad and Reuben. All right, we're about to enter into the time of Christmas in a couple of weeks, which is a highly demonic so-called holiday, which is not, it's the Messiah's birthday, by the way. All right. Hey, the Lord was born in spring, okay, a beard. All right, the first of the month, not no goddamn winter when it's cold as hell, man. You know, and then when you go into it, Christmas is actually forbidden. When you read Jeremiah the 10th chapter, man. Go ahead.
God, this is Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 1.
The New Year don't come in the winter. Exactly. Right. The New Year doesn't come in the winter, man.
Right. It says, Jeremiah 10 and 1, hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel, in which, you know, the house of Israel, you know, is you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, Haitians, and Israelite foreigners, all right? That consists of the Israelites. Verse 2, thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. For the customs of the people are vain, for one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workman with the axe, which is going into the, you know, the custom of, you know, so-called Christmas, you know, but then it's also ascribed, you know, to all of the, you know, the customs of the heathen.
Yeah, because that specifically is going into the cutting down of the fir tree, all right, which when you go into Babylonian worship, all right, that was them giving homage to Nimrod, because according to that custom, they believed Nimrod's spirit would inhabit that tree, all right, and if you didn't put the presence under it to honor him, it said his spirit would take over that tree and attack and kill you. That's why you have the custom now to where you have an artificial tree. You put it in that little holster, nail it down, and then continue reading.
God. Jeremiah 10:4, they deck it with silver and with gold. They fasten it with nails and with hammers that it move not.
Yeah, so that's what I just said. They nailed the tree down because they didn't want the spirit of Nimrod to possess that tree and attack you. And so they deck it with gold and silver. All right, back then it was actual gold and silver, but now because America's so goddamn so low, they use fucking tinsel, man. You know, gold and silver tinsel, and these cheap ass ornaments. Yeah, tinsel, yeah. You know, so they're showing you, hey, our people, they're lost out here, man. You know, so going back to what we read in Baruch, you move the Most High to wrath because you constantly sacrificing the idols, man. A nigga will celebrate, because we know these holidays, not to go too far into this shit, but niggas had a holiday meal full of goddamn swine and abominations and had a nerve to pray to the Most High to bless that shit, man. That's wicked, man. You know? Go ahead.
This is Amos chapter 5.
Read my mind.
This is Amos chapter 5, and let me see, verse 21. It says, I despise your feast days, and I will not smell in your solemn assembly. The Lord is not, you know, with Thanksgiving. The Lord is not with, you know, Christmas or New Year's. Ultimately, we have, you know, holy days, you know, which is totally set apart, you know, from these so-called holidays. You know, ultimately, you know, these days is ultimately vain, you know.
Go back.
Go back to that.
Second Kings. Yeah, we can read. Second Kings 5, and we stopped at verse. Get in the NOT though.
So 2 Kings chapter 5 and verse 3, the would go to see the prophet in Samaria, he would heal him of his leprosy.
Right, so this is that healing, right, that Jake is seeking after today, man. We went into how Jake is sick, right? right? The minds of our people are sick, their hearts are sick, right? But the healing can only come through the prophets, man, through the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, right? The spirit or the word of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is the only thing that's going to bring that healing.
Verse 4. So Naaman told the king what the young girl from Israel had said. Go and visit the prophet. The king of Aram told him, I will send a letter of introduction for you to take to the king of Israel. So Naaman started out carrying as gifts 700 pounds of silver, 100 pounds of gold, and 10 sets of clothing.
Right, say, go and seek the prophet, man. Right, this is the time that we're coming into where people are going to understand that this word is the only source of refuge that you're going to be able to find, man. Right, if you could get Hosea 5:15.
NLT.
All right, because seeking this word is the only way you're going to receive peace. Seeking this word is the only way you're going to receive stability, right? Having this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding is your only source of protection in these times to come, man. So the sickness that we all suffer from, this is the true healing, man, right? We're the physicians, you know, through the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai.
Going back to Ibadiah, Obadiah, you know, one, I believe, the last verse, going into the, you know, the saviors on Mount Zion. Hosea 5:15. Then I will return to, Hosea 5:15 KJV. I will go and return to my place, so they acknowledge their offense and seek my face. In their affliction, they will seek me early.
Right. So seeking the Lord, right, is going to ease our afflictions, man. Right. We see day in and day out that the people of this world are suffering, right? While, you know, though we go through our struggles, the Lord has us in a more calm state, man. Right? He has us in a more state of tranquility, you know, because we have this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, man. Right? You get that, let's do that something.
Yeah, I get that. This is Isaiah chapter 33, and we'll get verse 6. And it says, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure.
Yep. The fear of the Lord, going back to this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, man. The fear of the Lord is the most valuable thing that you can have access to in these times. And the only way that you're going to be able to get to that is through the prophecy of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, starting with our apostles and elders on down, man. Right? This is the only access that you'll have is through the Spirit of the Lord, man. Grab Malachi 4:2.
This is Malachi chapter 4 and verse 2. Malachi 4 and 2, Tawada. Malachi 4 and 2, it says, but unto you that fear my name shall the Son of Righteousness arise with healing in his wings, and ye shall go forth as, and grow up as calves of the stall.
Right, that healing is coming through that comforter, man. You know, y'all went into that comforter on Wednesday, right? That comforter is coming through, right, and giving us that peace during these times of trouble, man. Right, that comforter is giving that mental, you know, easing that mental anguish that the rest of the world is going to have themselves in, man. That despair that you see on the faces of these people, right?
I got it. Okay. Con, this is Isaiah. You know the despair that we're starting to see on the eyes of, you know, those that's not in this truth, you know, because ultimately what's going on in the spirit is